Alright, we're back. Hello and welcome back. Let me just fix it up real quick so that it doesn't look like I'm looking to the side. Sorry for the restart. Apologies, was my own mistake. Should have checked everything before I restarted. Yum. Alright, we are back for real now. And we are going to continue where we stopped, which is right here. Let me drink one last sip while we wait for you. Staying hydrated, folks, very important. Alright. Throat clear, mood set, let's go. As you walked through the hallway, your eyes catch on something on the nearby bulletin board. A poster was plastered on the large board. The Hallows Ball. Lore Ipsum is simply dummy text of the printing and typesetting industry. Lore Ipsum has been standard dummy text ever since. Okay. Come enjoy the festive spirit of Hallows Eve. Halloween party, huh? Seems promising. A sudden small vibration came from your pocket. Curious, you took out your phone, expecting another message from Saul. It was from Crow. Your heart leaped from your chest, recalling the events that happened earlier this afternoon.
Can you meet me after class?
I totally forgot the voices that I did, since it's been like over a week. Almost 2. I'm sorry. I'll be at the front gate. You didn't send a reply. Turning off your phone, you quickly made haste to the exit. You approached the school's gate, keeping an eye out for your friend. Sure enough, there stood Crow in all his glory, posture straight with his arms held behind his back nearly placed on the floor, and his foot tapping on the concrete floor nervously. You yourself were growing nervous with each step you took as you drew closer and closer to him. When you reached his side and made your presence known with a small greeting, you noticed the way Crow's eyebrows raised in mild surprise, as if not expecting you to actually show up before him. He cleared his throat before composing himself properly, his body now facing in your direction. You wanted to see me? Yes, Lifting his back from the floor, he slings a strap over his shoulder and offers his hand for you to take. No you don't. No need. I'd like to take you somewhere. It's a bit near the park. I'll lead if you let me. I'm gonna take his arm. And I'm also gonna risk not saving at the moment, because we got a lot of safe spots to go back to. You didn't take his outstretched hand, but rather boldly wrapped your arm around his, earning a look of surprise from his azure eyes. He did not question you on the matter, but a wide smile made its way to his features with a slight blush dusted his cheeks. I think like taking arm is less personal than taking hand. That's why I took the arm. He holds onto your arm tight and leads the both of you away from the school grounds. By the time you and Crow made it to the park, it was already sundown, and stars slowly started painting the sky. It's more intimate? Wait, you think? I think it's less intimate if you just hold someone by the arm. Like, the hand touches so many things, it's icky. I don't want to touch your hand if I didn't know where it was before, so I'd rather take your arm. Oh. Well, shit. Oops. Is this the place you were trying to lead me, Crow? You fucked up. Oops. It's like locking your arms. I didn't think that far. I didn't see it as locking arms. Not quite yet. Come here. You follow him through a thicket of thick brushes, surprised to see stony stairs. Though a bit run down, it still seemed sturdy to step foot on. Looking up, you see it leads somewhere above. You and Crow make your way up the stony stairs, some red and orange leaves covering the steps as you and him avoid a few puddles from the rain this morning. We're here. Come on. Come, it's a sight to behold. It's Rainbow! Taking one last step, you see Crow admiring whatever was beyond him, his smile bright as his eyes twinkle like the stars above. Your eyes went wide in awe upon seeing the scenery before you, replicating the one Crow has on his face. Not once I can't read, I'm sorry. Not once did you take into consideration the idea of sightseeing within the city. Everything felt unfamiliar, intimidating even. You couldn't blame yourself for feeling so distressed about the idea of traveling, especially since you had no one else within the city to guide you. But gazing at the sea of lights that stretched out before you made you realize that you have been missing much of what the city has to offer. Looking farther ahead, you take notice of a tall tower decorated with bright neon pink lights. Where? I don't see it. Canned tuna and feta cheese is to die for. That sounds so disgusting. A little bit to its right is a movie theater next to a mall. The rows of other buildings with multicolored lights seemed endless. The more you scan the area, the more you see unfamiliar places that you didn't know existed. Your moment of silence while admiring the city view was interrupted by the sound of rustling grass. You turn around, finding the source of the sound. Crow has made himself comfortable, lying on the ground under an old tree. You see his backpack leaning on its trunk. You turn your back from the city and walk to where Crow lays, deciding to keep him company. His gaze on the starry sky shifts to you as you sit down beside him, and a hopeful smile grows on his face. No. Judging from your face all lighting up, you like this place, huh? Care to join me? Accepting his invitation, you give Crow a slight nod that brought joy to his eyes. You stretch a bit and lay on your back right next to him, your fingers barely touching. Oh no. You and Crow look at the night sky. You observe how the stars twinkle as if the rain from this morning never happened. How'd you manage to find this place? You tilt your head to look at him and he gives you a closed-eyed chuckle before his twinkling gaze meets yours. I take it that you've never heard of Lily Smith, have you, Sky? Lily Smith? Lily Smith? Crow points up at the old tree that stood above you, then returns his gaze to the stars. They say that this tree that the humans came in contact with was blessed by the gods that guard this land. We finally secured a place for Dokumi, yay! This very same tree here used to bear multiple fruits. They say that they never rot and are free for anyone to take. Or so what the popular interpretation says anyways. There are other versions? Crow shrugs his shoulders. That's a little formatting error here. Moving his gaze from the sky back to the tree, he stares at it as if trying to decipher something just by the mere look of it. There are other versions, yes. Some say the fruits are actually poisonous. Others say it's only meant for the gods and no human must take from it lest they be cursed. That sounds quite gruesome. It's no wonder why they would rather use the lighter version of the myth. Yeah. Crow lets out a low chuckle at your statement, nodding a bit, as if agreeing with you. I guess that might be one of the reasons. Hey, Sky. He pauses before speaking again. You perk an eyebrow at him. Yeah? This seems like a silly question. What? Tell me. Do you believe in gods? This question caught you by surprise. You never thought of Crow as the religious type, more so be interested in gods. Or maybe he's just curious by the idea of them. This may be the best moment to know for sure. I do not know. You don't? Nope, I don't. I believe in one's hard work. Does that count? Crow merely chuckled at your statement. With a hand resting on his chest, he shakes his head slightly, as if he couldn't believe he just heard you say that. I don't mind the people who believe in them, I just don't like the way some of them worship the very ground these so-called gods walked on. You scoffed. Don't spoil me, Alex. I said to soon not tell me anything about the endings. I believe that everything is made possible through everyone's efforts, be it as a team or as an individual. There's no endings though, but then why you say ending? Just second they, yeah, that's what I mean. The believers only give credit to these deities for everything, and it's an insult to the forgotten people who sacrificed themselves to make things happen. You recalled the townsfolk who endlessly praised and worshipped your patron deity for the bountiful harvest you and your family broke sweat and tears for. You watched as the efforts of your labor were all thrown to some invisible being which, as far as you knew, returned nothing but calamities, one after the other. It was only a miracle that you, your father, and the damned farmland are still standing, and your crops still thriving even after so much damage. Crow notices the way your brows furrow. He says nothing, but the look in his eyes tells you that he shares your sentiments wholeheartedly. This is why we're two peas in the same pot. How about you? You believe in them? You turn to Crow, repeating the same question he asked you earlier. He scans your face, your eyes, your nose, then your lips. His lingering gaze made you shrink back, your heart fluttering slightly. Crow seems to realize something to himself as he returns his attention to the stars above, sighing. I don't. Why is he asking then? I don't understand. This surprises you, and Crow laughs at your visible shock and confusion. What? You didn't think I'd be a non-believer? If I have to be honest, no. Why so? You kind of dress like a priest! Yeah. Crow's azure eyes grew wide as he broke out into one of the loudest laughs you've ever heard from him. He laughed so hard that he had to clench his stomach and wipe at the tear-stained corners of his face. He was still chuckling when he unbuttons the first two studs of his black polo, revealing more of his collarbone to you. Bitch! Get dressed! No! You quickly avert your eyes, finding the tree's leaves to be very interesting at this moment, as you feel a familiar heat rush to your cheeks. How's that? Less formal? For fuck's sake, yes, put your clothes back on. Feels like I'm seeing a Victorian woman's ankles for the first time. I do not like it. Please put it back up. It's very, no. Crow grins at your reaction. It took the both of you a few more seconds of going back and forth with this teasing and you reprimanding him before you finally calm down. The next few moments were spent with you pointing at the stars and Crow teaching you the constellations with a gentle whisper-like voice. You both fell silent, basking in the peace of the night. As the silence prolonged, Crow fell in deep thought. About today, Sky, and about the guys. So we're moving to this conversation next, huh? I've got to be honest, Daryl put me up to this little hangout while I was feeling down on the dumps. I think I do have to thank him for forcing me and actually gave me the courage to talk to you after class. Bitch, really? He lets out the breath he didn't know he was holding, refusing to meet your eyes. I don't know if I upsetted you by suddenly dragging you into this group. It was awkward as fuck. I probably should have told you about them a long time ago, huh? I'm sorry. You bit your lip. Nah. You suspected that you might have upset Crow by making him think that you didn't like the group's presence at all. I don't. And that he's forcing you to bend to his will. One thing to know about Crow is that he is never the type to demand, to control, to be a king, to be a tyrant. Where's that coming from? You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I should be the one. No, I should not be apologizing. I was uncomfortable, so I made the decision to not go with this huge friend group. You speak up without thinking. Crow turns his head to look at you, his gaze swirling with confusion at your apology. Sorry for making you... I am not sorry for making you feel bad. I meant to be upset. You swallow a lump in your throat, trying your best to hold the tears that were threatening to spill. I'm not a crybaby, shut it. I just thought that you'd forget about me after. They're amazing people. Brittany's pretty, Daryl's a funny guy, Gio's so cool, and Jess is loyal. They're a great group, and most importantly, you're amazing. No, this is going in a direction I do not like at all. I'm just not sure if I could ever be part of the group. You are always hidden in the shadows no matter how much you try to fit in. You are never to be considered. People treated you like someone to toss away, someone to use. You're worth nothing but an extra. That's what she always tells you. You couldn't hold it back anymore. A sob escapes your lips. Your vision slowly blurring as you feel wet droplets of tears finally sliding down your cheek from your eyes. For a moment you saw panic in Crow's expression, seemingly not expecting you to bust into tears. He reaches out to hold your hand. And suddenly you feel a pair of arms circling around you as he pulls you closer to him, letting you sub on his shoulder. Yes, childhood friends all in all, but I'm getting full body shudders. He says nothing while rubbing a hand along your back, allowing you to cry, not caring about his clothes getting wet from your tears. Once you calm down, Crow rests his hand on your back, not letting you out of his embrace. What's this happy-go-lucky music? You're amazing. I'm sorry I never get to tell you that no matter how many times I've thought of it, I just couldn't seem to find the words. But you're amazing in your own way. You may not know it, but you're beautiful, you're funny, you're quite a phenomena. You can feel vibrations coming from his chest from the chuckle he emits. Heck, you're the funniest person I know. All I'm saying is that you're amazing. You have no idea how much tears you've shed tonight. Sometimes you think it's silly and childish to cry over what was probably a trivial matter to some, but the urge to sob returned after hearing those words from him. You want me to call you the amazing Spider? Okay, I love Spider-Man, that's a very low blow, but no. You want me to call you the amazing Spider-Man just to prove that you are amazing? This made you giggle a bit as you wipe your tear-stained cheeks. With whatever strength you could muster, you slowly pulled away and lifted yourself up. No. You sit yourself up, hovering over Crow, and there you see the very same man that made you cry by literally doing nothing. His braid came loose, you didn't know when, but his hair pulled around his head. No. Crow stares up at you with serene eyes, remaining silent as a gentle smile plastered on his face. I know that there's no NSFW, I'm aware. There is nothing but the moon illuminating his tender features, yet to your vision he seems to glow. That weak hair tie, then. He's absolutely beautiful? I don't think so, no. Or how you wish you could blame everything on him. If you could, you'd tell him that he's the reason for all the unnecessary feelings swelling in your chest. It's hatred. Those feelings are disgust and hatred. He's mid. He's boring. He's boring as fuck. You tell him exactly how good and bad it all feels. The heartaches, the butterflies fluttering about your stomach. You want to blame him, but you can't. No, I'm not gonna kiss him. You didn't feel as bad as before, but your vessel is not completely empty yet. Somehow, just looking at Crow... Why was there not an option to just get up? His personality is boring, exactly. At the comfort he brought you made you want to bask in it longer until you were sure you had no tears left to shed. Leaning down once more, you bury your face in the crook of his neck and his arms instinctively wrap around you, his hug warm and soothing as he waits for you to gather your thoughts. Vessel, I'm joking. I don't want to check the heart. Sex, your mother. Ew. I don't want to. Crow rubs circles on your back, a silent way of telling you that he was there, you were not alone, and that he'd be there whenever you needed him. He didn't say a word, understanding that you needed silence more than anything right now. You couldn't thank him enough for always knowing what you needed. You have no idea how long you remained in that embrace. While, this is so uncomfortable to read. While lying down on the grass, but you feel a lot better that you are ready. What? But you feel a lot better that you're ready to get back up on your feet. You pull away, meeting Crow's eyes that seem to ask after your well-being. Fixing his collar, he turns to you. Please button up, yes. Are you good to go? You could read that from his gaze. You nod slightly, and it is only then that Crow completely releases you from his embrace, helping you sit up before he dusts off the grass that stuck to his shirt. The writing is not great. The writing is okay, but there are like a few moments where I've stumbled, where something should get a little rewrite. Otherwise, it's not bad. He gives you once over and gently swats away the leaves on your hair and clothes. Like grammar. Grammar's mostly fine. As I said, just a few hiccups here and there that make you stumble when you read it out loud. I think when you read it by yourself, it's not that bad, like silently read it, but reading it out loud makes you like realize some of the hiccups. You blink at him, he only smiles at you. You get up and Crow retrieves his bag, almost forgotten by the tree. He looks back at you and takes your hand silently. It was time to go. I don't want to take your hand. I'm gonna sanitize my entire body now and go see my... Yes, Sethi, exactly. It was time to leave this magical place. You look at the stars and how brightly they shone. You give the sky one last glance before turning away, hand clasped tightly around Crow's as you let him lead you home. Crow walks you to your apartment, noting that he kept you out late at night. You bid Crow farewell after he safely sees you inside, and he gives you a wave before turning on his heel and making his way down the stairs. You close your apartment door and lean on it, heaving a puff of air. You recall the conversation you had with Crow while you walked with him on the street, leading you home. I'm gonna give the guys a chance. I think I judged them too quickly, so I want to do better. I want to get to know them better. If you trust them, then I trust them too. Crow's expression was of surprise at your declaration, as your determined face reflects in his orbs. Crow chuckled at your enthusiasm, giving you a friendly pat on the head. I'm glad you're giving them a chance. I'm sure they will feel the same. Nyeh. You engaged in other conversations with Crow during your walk, the topics not really being of any importance, as you have forgotten them by now, save for his gentle voice and occasional fond glance as he stole at you. Weren't you about orbs? It wasn't... Time with Crow seemed to pass by so quickly. You arrived at your apartment complex before you knew it. You make your way to the living room and you throw your school bag to a random corner, immediately plopping down on your sofa as you turn on the small television. Nothing interesting is going on, save for some food commercials and movie trailers. That pizza looks so good. Maybe I should order something. Reaching to your pockets and taking out your phone, you were about to dial your number on the television when a new notification bubble popped on your notification bar. It's from a group chat you've never seen before. After scrutinizing it, you realize that it was Crow who added you in. Oh no, no group chats, please! I hate group chats. It was a group chat with the rest of his friends. You open it. Daryl. Anyone want to go to the Halloween party this Friday? It's gonna be awesome. Aren't we all a bit too old for the costume parties? Is it required? You two are no fun at all. I wouldn't go if it's not a school requirement. Yeah, that's me. Much less a waste of my time. Is it? No, it isn't. But I would have muted the fuck out of this already. It'll be a great and fun experience for all of us. I mean, we should loosen up a bit, you know? I agree with Crow. Count me in. Pass. I've got more important things to do than a party. Now will you excuse me? I will do my leftover tasks for tonight. She shall stick in the mud as usual. How about you? Me? You join in, but fun. No, I will not. No. Do we get a choice? I would no. You honestly surprised they somehow remembered you. Checking your calendar though, through your phone, you didn't seem to have any plans in the near future. Or plans at all. You'd like to just spend your time in your apartment alone. I mean, sure. No, I don't want to go. That's great to hear. Crow seems happy about it. You giggled. This also reminds me of something, or rather, someone. Opening another chat, you tapped on Saul's newly added contact and sent him a message by sending the image of the same poster Daryl sent. Halloween party hosted by the school? I'm not quite into parties. Well, that's alright, just asking, that's all. Wait. If you're coming, then I'm coming as well. Really? Really. Do you plan on dressing up as my husband? I don't know, do you? I mean, it's a costume party, so why not? I'll try to think of something then. You swear you can feel a smile behind those words. With a quick word of goodbye, you set your phone down when you heard your doorbell. Food! Food! 6 years ago. Oh my goodness. Afterwards, you ate your dinner and prepared yourself for bed. You thought about the events that happened today, meeting the group, meeting Saul, and most especially your little hangout with Crow. Each and every moment is a special occasion on its own. Letting out a big yawn as you stretched your body. You turn to your laundry, slowly piling up, and scratch your head. Oh my god, that is too real. I'll probably do laundry tomorrow. Emphasis on probably, and then it will not happen. But for now, you plopped yourself on the soft cushions of your bed, getting into a comfortable position and slowly dozing off as you closed your eyes, embracing sleep as the night goes. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me, the one who loves. I was a child, she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. Day 2. Okay. Hydration. The sun setting by the horizon colors the grassy field into a deep golden orange as the wind made some strands of hair brush across your face. You have a beloved home. The tall grass, the fresh air. The various farm animals that you and your family raised since you were but a mere child. You can't even imagine what was happening before you right now. As a group of people came while they talked with your father, your only family member left. You see the distress in your father's eyes as he tries his best to negotiate with the people before him. The desperation in his voice, the sweat running down his neck as he moves around his hand gesturing this and that. Please just give me more time. I promise I can pay up. This is all we have left. I don't know where else to go if we lose this farmland. We've given you enough chances already, Mr. Lighthope. If you don't pay up your debt, we will take all your land. Yikes. The loud ringing of the school bell rang across the hallway, making you jerk out of your thoughts. Students came out through their classroom doors. You feel someone shaking you awake. Oh. You sat up and met face to face with Crow. Well, good morning, Sleeping Beauty. You let out a yawn. You rubbed your eyes as you looked around. Your fellow classmates are now gone from their seats, as it is now lunchtime. What did I miss? Nothing important, though if you're having doubts, I can lend you my notes afterwards. Thanks. Anything for you? You recall the little dream you had. You quickly shake it off as you let out a stretch, popping a few joints before you got up and went out of your classroom with Crow and Tao. Thank you. You met up with your group of friends. seeing Daryl with Gio and Crow waiting by the lockers, Brittany coming along behind them, and Jess. You wave at them. And I want to leave already. Good noon to you all. Regards, Daryl. How is class? Boring and boring. So glad to be out of there. One more useless minor and I'll be out of here. Gio just shrugged, a hand in his hoodie pocket while the other on his phone. We got to at least do something in our major today, though, which I'm glad about. More papers, but it was at least something. Blech. Enough about papers, all about the Halloween party. Any ideas for costumes yet? No. As they talked with each other, at the corner of your eyes, you noticed a familiar figure. It was Saul. He came out of a classroom, and another person came afterwards behind him, seemingly bored of his mind. Hubby, yeah. I'm gonna join him. You turn your head to Crow in a shy manner, almost hesitant to ask. Crow, is it okay if I leave? I have somewhere to be at. Is that so? There was a slight disappointment in his voice, but he lets you continue on. Yeah, sorry I couldn't hang out. Nonsense, I'll see you after lunch instead then, Sky. If ever you're interested, of course. Stay disappointed, yes. Sure thing. You give Crow one last smile before heading over to where Sol and his companion is. You walked towards the two individuals. They seemed to be in deep conversation. However, Sol noticed your presence and stopped talking, his attention now on you. Going to Hubby Wubby. Didn't expect y'all to hate Crow. He's boring. He's a boring motherfucker. I do not care about him at all. He seems so incredibly boring. His companion noticed the change in his friend's demeanor and follows his gaze as it lands on you. The shorter male greeted you with a smile. Hi there. You friends with Sunny? Sunny? Sunny! He pats Sol at the back, causing the taller male to jerk slightly forward. Sol gives him an irritated look, observing the way his face is slowly turning red. I have a thing for red flags. Yes. You know, because he's such a sunshine. He's sunny. You let out a small giggle, shifting your eyes towards Sol as he catches your gaze on his. Upon landing eye contact, Sol quickly averts his gaze away from yours, holding up his hand as he tries his hardest to hide his face away. Like a nickname? Yes! Sunny loves the nickname I gave him. Right, Sunny? Sol remains silent, still refusing to meet your gaze. That's adorable. Yes! For a moment, the three of you were silent before the shorter male speaks up once more. You sure have taste, Sunny. He's very pretty, like you said. A blush makes its way to your face. Scratching the back of your head, you bit your bottom lip as you let out a small thank you. Anyway, nice to meet you. My name's Hugo. I'm this big old grumpy's best friend. Your eyes are the same color as your hair. Pleasure to meet you too. He extends his hand for you to take, in which you merely accept, shaking it, and puts it back on his side. A smile to his face as he did so. Another thing I stumble. I love his dead eyes. So anyway, what do you... Oh, wait, sorry, wrong voice. That's not me, that's Sol. So, anyway, what are you up to, Sky? I just saw you both and wanted to greet you. Anyway, we were planning to go to the rooftop today and eat lunch there. The weather is doing better than like yesterday. You want to tag along with us? You guys aren't a fan of the cafeteria? Understandably so. Upon mentioning the cafeteria, Sol shivers as Hugo only gave a small chuckle. Sunny isn't a huge fan of the noise there. I heard there was a food fight that happened yesterday. Right? Though, not gonna lie, a food fight sounds fun. What are you, high school? At least have fun a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I get the grammar's getting worse, but that's okay. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get going, shall we? Sure. Hugo walks to his usual spot and got himself seated on a bench that you somehow never took notice of before. Saul follows along, and in his hand is a large wrapped box that caught your interest. I'm gonna sit beside Saul. Saul notices you from the corner of his eye. The edge of his lip is moving upward. You pointed to the box nestled in Saul's hands. Is that your lunch? You can say that. As Saul unwraps the cloth, showing you 3 bento boxes, he takes out the first bento box that was settled on top before giving the second one to Hugo. Did you make us lunch? Hugo happily accepts the box, thanking Saul before taking out his chopsticks. Opening the container, Hugo lets out an awe sound, his eyes sparkling, drool slowly seeping out at the corner of his open mouth. You actually listened, and did you cut these tiny sausages into octopuses? Keep your voice down, it's ringing in my ear. Wait, I need to take a picture of it! Placing the box gently on his lap, Hugo rummages through his pockets before taking out his phone. Opening his phone's camera, he flips it horizontally, then starts clicking away, taking 1 or 2 photos. Hugo lifts the container back into his hands, but not before turning to you and showing you what he keeps gushing about. Oh my! Oh, that's cute! Isn't it adorable? There you see various ranges of food with rice shaped to match a moth, seaweed to design the face, along with using a cabbage leaf to form its wings. Right below the moth are mini sausages shaped like octopus. Wonderfully cut carrots were made to look like stars and squeezed beside stuffed shiitake mushrooms. The egg roll, sushi, and broccoli with melted cheese as a dip looked delicious. I almost feel too bad to eat it, especially on how cute this little guy is. Hugo points at the silk moth-shaped rice. Wait. I should be able to read this technically. So, we got I forgot. Itadakimasu. Without wasting another second, Hugo starts digging in, scruffing down on the rice like a wild, hungry animal. Did you make this by yourself? I do know what it means, Alex. You can say that. Saul answers, opening his own container. You thought you'd see another form of food art made by Saul himself within the container, but instead was greeted by a simple ham and cheese sandwich. Music's a little loud. I'm gonna put it down a bit. He takes out a slice, but before he could take a bite, he turns to you. Have you eaten? No, I haven't actually. Saul's eyes went wide and Hugo gave you a shocked look. Before you knew it, Saul takes out another box and settles it on your lap. That was absolutely planned on my side. The male wife is shocked. The male wife is shocked that I haven't eaten. You can have this. It's an extra. Why do you have an extra? I didn't like how it looked, but I figured I can let Hugo finish it. It's a waste of ingredients. You don't have to really... No, I insist. Oh, for fuck's sake, just eat the same box! Hugo, who clearly had enough of the back and forth banter, suggests the idea before returning to his own box. Saul hesitates, but he eventually takes out a spoon and a fork, handing them to you. Yes, Yes, I have to. You decline his offer of the utensils. He raises a brow in confusion. You don't want the fork? Or do you prefer the spoon? I have chopsticks too if you want. No, nothing of the sort. Then what is it? Feed me! Feed me. Yes! Want you to feed me! Saul's breath hitched his face. Wait, comma, missing. Saul's breath hitched, his face went bright red at your wild suggestion. Hugo gives you both a side eye. Your proclamation was enough for him to actually stop eating, shooting you both a judgmental look as if saying, "Really? Right in front of my bento box?" He scoots away a bit from the two of you, not wanting to be part of your little fiasco, as he returns to his meal. Saul, however, was nervous for a bit, his eyes still transfixed on yours. Still couldn't believe what you asked of him. Right in front of my salad? Are you just going to keep staring at him or what? Shut up, I'll feed him. Saul takes the spoon in his hand. A double thingy. I would love to help with this project so much, oh my god. Saul takes the spoon a little bit too harshly and scoops out some rice and a piece of the sausage, his whole face turning red to the point it reaches to the tip of his ears. With a shaky hand, he lifts the spoon for you to take. You took a bite and chewed. The mixture of flavors, how the rice remains warm and fluffy, and the sausage's savory taste helps balance it out. Wait, what? Okay. And the warm and fluffy, and the sausage's savory taste helps balancing it out. It sends a tingling feeling down your spine from your mouth. It's amazing, it's delicious. That is really good. Hugo nods along with you with gusto, food stuffed on one cheek, into one cheek like a hamster. I know, right? You'd honestly be surprised. So... you'd make a great house husband. Saul's eyes widen at your declaration. Did I get another point finally? Ah, yeah, nice. 2 even. You really think so? I really do think so. Wait, that skipped too fast. Wait, didn't he say something? Huh. Saul's definitely house husband material. He can cook, he can clean, he can do anything. Use your scroll. I really do think so. Wait. Never mind, there was nothing in between, okay. I'd rather not be your own personal butler. It was a compliment. All good. I did check the log, so it's all good. The two banter, but you couldn't help looking at Saul and the way his eyes sparkle. They almost remind you of bright fireworks during the new year. Hugo eventually finished his own box, tucking it away and wrapping it back up. What do you want to send me? I checked, and there is the log. There is nothing in between here, so it's all good. Standing up from the bench, Hugo stretches out his limbs and paced a few steps forward, before turning to look at you and Saul with his hands on his hips. Is this what you guys do every day? It doesn't show, what the heck. Or at least when you both get together? You raised a question. Hugo turns his head to you with a slight tilt. What do you mean? You mean Saul giving me lunch? He just keeps forgetting to bring his own. Hugo pouts. And you never finish yours, so I do the honors of ever finishing good food, thank you very much. Always. Those bento box art. What inspired them, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, you didn't know? Shut it, Gogo. Gogo. Huh? Oh, now we're using the nickname, Sonny. How sweet of you. Yeah, see here, Sky. My old pal here just makes food art like the typical artist that he is. But he never bothers to finish it, much less eat it. And he really loves cute things like... With a finger under his chin, Hugo ponders for a short moment, trying to remember something from the top of his head, but to no avail. He turns to his friend, his arms crossed, seemingly uninterested in answering whatever inquiry Hugo's going to throw at him. What was the name of your plushed horse, Sonny? Like hell I am answering that. Boo! You want the pleasures? Sol bites his lip, his face turning red upon the reveal of his little secret. That is so cute, so do I. He says nothing as he fixes his choker, the red blush tinting his face, makes its way to the tip of his ears. But he appreciates your compliment nonetheless. Looks can be deceiving. This makes you wonder, why do people never bother to notice him? Why don't people want to get to know him? Maybe they just never gave him the chance because of how he looks, not to mention his intimidating height. But he isn't like that at all. In fact, he can be considered a gentle giant. Time passed for a while, and how Hugo and Sol are both leaning against the railings, observing the view below them. I want to lean against him. But turn off the volume of that. Wait a moment, I'm gonna check on my phone real quick. Yum, 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 yum. It's mute on there. Wait. Oh, it's that. Okay, I've seen that before. I didn't know it was this scene. Okay. Curious, you make your way to where they were. Hugo and Sol. When did I get someone else? Hugo and Sol seem to be looking at something below. Their face is solemn and serious. Hugo's face is blank, while Sol's expression is a mixture of irritation and aggravation. You look down, and there you see a group of well-dressed people. But what makes them stand out is not from the way they dress, but from the way they carry themselves. They're clearly not from here, but the school's logo on their uniform's chest pocket says otherwise. They look fancy. They look rich. Dangerous? Ah. You couldn't help but hold your gaze on the tallest one in the group. An adult man. You're guessing that he must be a staff member, maybe a teacher, but what sticks out about him is the eye patch on his face and a large scar behind it. How can you see it if he has an eye patch on? It sends a shiver down your spine. High-class mugs. Sol exclaims, pure disgust coating his tone, not hiding it a single bit as he pulls away from the railings and returns to the benches where you last were. High class? You don't know about the Hirachi? Nope. First time I've ever heard of it. How long have I been on this school? Apparently not long. How come I've never seen or heard of them throughout my school years here? Exactly, how? Hugo lets out a low chuckle, his attention still in the group below him. Then his gaze darkened. The usual happy-go-lucky attitude you've come to know disappeared in a flash, as if the person before you was a whole different person. I don't blame you. No one likes talking about them anyway. About the hierarchy? How come I've never heard of it before? It's like a hidden thing. But that's what we call it. The school. No, the entire city. It's like a fighting pit. Whoever's the most powerful has a better chance in living a good life here. People come to the school to gain a second chance in life. But to achieve that, you have to make yourself well known. Make them think you're worth their time. If not, you're on your own. Hey, class? He sends a chilling glare down at the group below. The school building isn't actually the real thing. What? But the school map clearly says that the address is. That's where they actually fool you. You might think you got it right, but we are sorted based on our backgrounds. The real school building? Way farther than where we are, and their campus is 10 times bigger and better. They got proper classes, have better equipment, everything is just better. Here? We only get the short end of the stick. The afterthought, if you will. If I have to guess, the well-off on the main building? That's right. Son of a duke, daughter of a businessman. Heck, as long as you're rich, you're in. Your chances for having better education rest there. If you're part of the high class, then you'll have a better chance of having a successful and stable life. But don't we have students here who are like super rich? You'll recall Crow introducing you to Jess, her being a daughter of a family owning a large company. But how come she's not part of the high class? There are some who ended up shifting down and moved to our building. Either they failed a class or got a violation. They didn't want that type of stain on their reputation, so they sent them here. Of course, some didn't appreciate that. They see us as someone lower than them, hence... Hugo glances back at Saul. The said male now busying himself with his sketch pad. Are you drawing me? A soft look flashed in his eyes, like how a mother would worry over their child. There you understood something. They have to fight the weak to feel something, huh? They sound like nothing but bullies. How come someone didn't step up and complain? Hugo laughs at your words as if you told him the best joke of his life. He shakes his head in disagreement. If only it was that easy. His laughter dies down, his expression back to being solemn as he scratches the back of his head. Actually, in this city, no one really gives a shit. Money is the only thing revolving around this city. You got no cash, you're done for. Which is why people like us, he turns to look at you dead in the eye, are desperate to get into the higher class. If you so dare complain... He pauses, contemplating on the next set of words he's going to say, his mouth opening and closing like a guppy out of water. Instead, he gives you a warning look. His sky-blue eyes, that once reminded you of summer skies, are now cold like sharp icicles about to pierce you. You're better off dead. With one last look below, Hugo lets out a sigh as he turns to look somewhere else, trying to shove away the thoughts clouding his mind. But that's the sad reality here. The attention is good, great even. Your chances to get a stable life and even have a knock of stardom is high once you're part of the high class, much less graduate there. I have nothing else to ask. This city is corrupted, he mutters under his breath, which makes me question, Sky. How are you able to get into the city? No, the better question is, why did you enroll in this school, if you don't mind me asking, that is? You're clearly not from here. Your eyes widen at the words that the well-dressed man said. I refuse. Ah! I told you to stay inside. You're not taking this farm. My home! You cut your father's words off, marching towards the tall man with loud and heavy footsteps. The tall man, however, raised a brow at you, raising his hand to halt his men. His deep magenta eyes then turned to look straight into yours. It sent a chill down your spine. He gay? Whoa, bit feisty seeing that this is our first time meeting, right? Let me introduce myself first. My name is... But you may call me Mr. Z. As for your... a little agenda, how about this, little Amber? If you manage to pay off your debt for the next 5 years, I'll let you off the hook and let you keep your land. Looks like a cunty priest. Oh, damn. 5 years? You can handle that. Maybe working 3 jobs would do it for you. He tuts, waving a finger in front of your face. He looks down at you, reminding you of your place, a mischievous smile appearing on his handsome features. But I have some conditions you need to meet. You went silent. Your heart starts pounding in your chest as you keep eye contact with his sharp magenta orbs. I want you to stay in the city. The city? But we can't even afford to take him to college. What more moving in the city? Wait. Your father interrupts the man mid-sentence. The man merely gives your father a side glance, making the old man freeze on his feet before returning his gaze back to you. No need to worry, he'll be under my jurisdiction, of course. I provide for his education and accommodation. Suddenly he burst out in laughter, throwing his head back a bit as if he just heard a very funny joke. See, I'm not that cruel. Wouldn't you agree? But just like I said before, sometimes it's question marks, sometimes it's this. I want you to pay off your debt. Land doesn't come in cheap, darling. And I've been very patient with how long this land's payment's been postponed. A sudden jerk on your collar made your heart jump. His face, now mere inches away from yours, his brows furrowed in anger and filled with spite. Wait. No, to one step, old man. He screams at your father, not sparing him a glance as he kept his hold on your collar. Kinky. You try to claw his hands away from it, but to no avail, seeing that you are losing more air the more you struggle. Listen here, punk. I don't care what kind of method you're going to do in order to make money. Prostitution. A dark smile appeared on his face. It sends a shiver down your spine. Being a good citizen and getting a pair of part-time jobs like the rest, or haul yourself out in strip clubs. That's what I said. Legal or illegal, I don't fucking care. As long as you reach the amount. If not, well, you can say goodbye to your little farmland. He says that, but there was a gleam in his eyes that is telling you that that's not all. Letting go of your collar, he steps back as you greedily take in the air that you lost. Tears making their way towards your eyes, threatening to drop. So, little fawn, what's it going to be? You bit the bottom of your lip. You turned to look at your father. His eyes were clearly telling you to decline. You didn't want to comply to this man's words, much less take his offer. You think he might throw you another form of debt for letting him fund you to go to the city. There was something about this man that screamed dangerous. But you were too desperate to not lose your home. Your only home. Tick-tock, sweet thing, I haven't gotten all day. The tall man's gaze still fixed on you, waiting for your answer. Do you accept? You recall the dream you had this morning. It felt as if it happened yesterday. Despite the events that happened nearly 4 years ago, you're still being haunted by the deal the tall man offered to you. Hugo observes the way your face hardened, the way your eyebrows arched, and a drop of sweat dropping amidst the cool autumn wind. There he understood. Let me guess, something you can't avoid? I honestly don't know. My father never really disclosed as to why we were in debt. But I was so desperate not to lose my only home. I need to make it up to the higher class no matter what. 3 jobs isn't cutting off the way I want it to be. I'm running out of time. This is my last year in this cursed university, and I'm barely making any progress. Sell furry nude art. Sell furry porn. Drawn furry pee. And that's gonna get you a shit ton of money, I'm sure. Hugo's gaze remains on your figure. You realized you haven't answered his question yet. My family owns a farm in the south. You finally speak, making Hugo perk up his eyebrows in curiosity. What sort of farm does your family have? Oh, well, we have some wheat fields and we tend to animals such as cows and horses. Horses! Betzel's gonna love that place! That sounds nice. I'd love to be out of the city once in a while. You give him a small smile. Yeah, some might say it's boring, but it's not. You get to pet horses and cows. Well, you should really invite me or even Sol over. Then, if ever. Well, if ever. Having you give us a tour there would be a great change of scenery. But that means you're a long way from home. Don't you miss it? A little bit. Meeting the in-laws, yeah. That's alright, it's normal to feel a little homesick. I heard great things about this city, about this school. Hugo remained quiet, listening to you as you went on. If I can manage to come on top and maybe part of the higher class like you said, then I can maybe save my family's farm. Crossing his arms, he says nothing as he looks at you one last time before letting out an endearing chuckle. You remind me of him. Like him? I'm rambling, don't mind me. Having been caught red-handed, he waves his hands around in slight panic. His face now red as a cherry. You tilt your head in confusion. Just then, you felt a presence behind you. Turning around, you met with Sol. His glare is stingy and directed at Hugo. The shorter male, however, didn't mind it, probably used to it. It's almost time. We should head back. Alright. With nothing else to do, the three of you left the rooftop. You take one step down, looking up and ready to converse with Sol and Hugo, when you suddenly lose your footing. Oh my god, I'm falling for them. Wow, you're right there? Yeah, thank you. Eyes wide in shock, you hold onto Sol's arm tight, his other arm wrapped around your waist as he pulls you close to his chest. You can feel both of your heartbeats run. Pulling away, you steady your footing, observing the stairs, cursing at how weirdly formed it is. The stairs? Staircase, probably. Be careful next time. Sheesh, this school and its bad architecture. Also, one of the few flaws here. The stairs are all wonky. It's also why it's forbidden to go up here. We're troublemakers, though. Hugo lets out a cocky grin, then goes down the stairs with much ease, as if it's nothing to him. What a fucking menace. Turning to Sol, you grab hold of his shoulder. He did not mind as you use him as a guide in descending down the stairs. Is it balanced? Not yet, dang it. The school bell rang through the hallway, signaling the start of next classes. Hugo lets out a groan. I don't want to get to class. I hate my history teacher as much as my coach in archery. Why don't you skip then? Hugo's eyes popped open. It became bright like a light bulb appearing out of his head and lightening up. So knows exactly what that look means. Don't tell me you're actually... I'm going to skip class! How about it? Fuck this school. If they're going to treat us badly, then let's be the bad guys. A mischievous look makes its way onto Hugo's face. You probably won't get the thing I'd want to see a reaction to, but other things... Okay. Saul already knew what that look means, sighing as he did so. He turns to you, waiting for your response to Hugo's offer. The thought of skipping is quite a gamble. Your next class is with Crow and art history. I don't care! But then again, your teacher will probably only do some boring-ass introduction. Missing one wouldn't hurt, would it? Fuck it, we skip! Hugo lets out a small cheer and gives you a thumbs up. Sol gives you a cheeky smile of his own. But how are we gonna do that, though? Obviously, we can't go through the entrance since it's closed and guarded. We're just gonna jump off the roof. Jokes. I know a way. Without wasting any more time, Sol leads the way, going through the backside of the school near the gardens. The edges, of course, were barricaded by a tall iron fence. Sol finds a bush and pushes it aside, revealing a gaping hole. I'm gonna swallow their main comment to that. Well, that's quite convenient. Did you make this hole, Sol? He did. I did. Hugo went ahead, first through the hall. Sol waits for you first before following right after. Balanced, please? God damn it. The three of you went past a few bushes and shrubs, the leaves falling as you pass by them. The red and orange leaves scattering around and some making its way onto your uniform before you all eventually make it out and are met with pavement. So, where do we go? Hugo thought for a moment, looking around before pulling out his phone. Suddenly he lets out a gasp, scrolling through his phone faster before gripping on Sol's shoulder, earning him a hiss from the taller male. Sherlock Holmes is out! My ears. Oh yeah, that detective movie I keep seeing on television. I thought that won't come out till next week. Did I set the date wrong? With that, Hugo started sprinting, leaving you and Sol behind. The bitch is ditching us! You're ditching us! For the love of... Oh, never mind. Sol placed his hand on his hips before walking to where Hugo ran off to as you followed. Hugo kept tapping away on his phone. His shoulders went slump. Guess he did get the date wrong. Shoving his phone back in his pocket, he turned to you and Sol. He clasped his hands together and pulled the biggest puppy eyes you've ever seen. We have got to watch it! Can we? Can we? Hugo begged. You can go ahead and watch the movie. I'm going to roam the arcade while you're at it. Hugo pouted, his eyes went half-lidded and the sparkle in his eyes was gone. But it's more fun if you're around. I know you like those crime videos you watch from time to time, so please. Sol, however, basing off of his expression, wasn't in the mood. Hugo gives up and turns to you. Sorry, arcade time. How about you? Would you like to watch the movie with me? The tickets and food's on me, of course. I'm sad, but sorry. No. Hugo shrugs. Alright, go on your little impromptu date then. Besides, I don't want a third wheel either. Date? Yes. No, I'm not gonna say. Fuck this shit. I'm risking it all. You're the one who decided we should skip class and do whatever we want. Yeah, and I want to watch a movie. Well, don't let me stop you two. Good luck, thank you. I'm staying with my first choices. Thing. Hugo stuck his tongue out at Sol. The said man only rolled his eyes. We'll be heading in now. I'll be heading in now. I'll just give you guys a call on way to meet. Sure. You and Hugo parted ways. He gave you both a wave before heading in different direction. Sol turns to you. Funny random fact, I checked Spotify earlier, and people can leave comments there. One person asked, wait, I can read it to you, if I can do a ASMR with player 067 from Squid Game. She's one of my favorite characters. What? What? That was the weirdest request I've ever gotten. But no. Should we get going then? Horse! Let's hold hands. The flashing neon lights of the arcade's exterior lights your way. Text you as soon as full game comes out. I'll find out. The sound of each arcade machine reaching your ears. I've never been here before. Is this place new? Not really. It's just hidden within the city. I see. Do you get out a lot, so you seem to know places? I know places because I get my ass dragged by Hugo. Is that so? You laughed. Sol just shrugged as he shook his head. He takes out a few coins from his pocket before handing them to you. They were tokens. So, which one are you going for first? Wow, you came prepared. As always. Come on. Sol holds out his hand and you accepted it. He held it tight with a light squeeze as you and him roam around the arcade. Daytime! Yay! You and Saul went and played multiple arcade games. Some you win and some he does. But you often get the feeling he lets you in for the sake of you winning. Why have I not gotten another point yet? Come on, Saul, it's like the 5th time I won. Ain't no way you're this bad. Maybe you're just that good. You flatter me. Just as when you're about to insert another coin, however, you realize you've run out of tokens. Saul takes notice of this, of course, and gave you some of his own. I'll go to the counter and grab a few more tokens. You don't mind staying here for a bit, right? Oh, how much should I pay you for the tokens? It's on me, don't worry about it. Wait here. Okay, I'ma wait. Giving you one last look, he hurriedly went to the counter. You looked around the area. The dinging sound from various machines fill the arcade. From the corner of your eyes, you spot a claw machine. Maybe playing a few games won't hurt. You know, we're going for the fucking horse. Into the claw machine, you check the contents inside. Cat plushie, Shiba Inu, and a horse. Which one should I try to win? Let me think. I'm gonna go for horsey. You remember how Saul likes horses. Maybe you can try to win one for him. These are his tokens after all. I thought we didn't have any anymore. Oh, never mind, he gave me his. You took out some of the tokens Saul gave to you and insert one into the coin slot. The machine whirs to life as you take the joystick on your left hand while hovering the red button on your right. You are focused, eyeing the claw in its position, trying to align it with the horse plush. The claw takes a hold of the plush. Your eyes widen as you cross your fingers, hoping it catches it, but you were interrupted with a sudden smack to your ass. You jerked and turned around. What the fuck? Ew! 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 Well, what do we have here? You turned around and were met with a tall figure, a cocky smile on his face. Pepper spray, yes, fist to the face. He looks well off, like those typical spoiled rich kids you see in movies. His hair a bit tousled with 2 men you assume are his bodyguards beside him. He reeks of tobacco, making you gag. You said nothing but tried to move away from his sight, but you were stopped by another tall figure. You were guessing he's with this asshole. Now, where do you think you're going, sweetheart? You're alone? Yep, and I would pretty much prefer to be alone. The man, however, did not listen. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you how these games are played? He raised his hand to reach your shoulder. Before he could touch you, however, you kicked him between his legs. Yes! He doubled over and clenched his lower region, a groan escaping his lips. His goons were taken aback and rushed to help him. Now's my chance. Don't let him get away! Multiple heavy footsteps were coming after you as you ran. You turned every corner you can, trying to make them lose you. But 3 against 1 is not a good matchup. Help! Please help! You pleaded, but the multiple sound effects and music from each machine within the arcade drowns your pleas. You cursed under your breath as you focused on running. All you can think about at the moment is to get out. You managed to get out of the arcade, but you can still clearly hear the man and his goons on your trail. You looked around, and you found a few toilet stalls. You rushed towards it and got the stall, hurriedly opening and locking it as soon as you got in. I would have run to the fucking counter where Saul was, like... Dude, there should have been staff there too. The place stinks, but you didn't give it another thought, as the beating of your heart rings through your ears. Tears fill up the corners of your eyes. You hear footsteps. Find him. The man's voice echoed. You tried to think of something, and you thought of calling Saul. You quickly took out your phone. No signal. Shit. Are you for real right now? You can hear how aggressive they open each stall. They creep closer and closer to where you are. Anyone, please? There you are. Let's see what's on the stall. Leave. Love? Love something. No, please. You've been a very bad boy, but don't worry, you can make it up to me by doing me a favor. Fuck you and your favors. I've been kind to you, but it seems you want to do the hard way. You forcefully grabbed the edge of your uniform. Your eyes went wide as your fingers went cold. You quickly grab hold of his wrist as you try to push him away. He's too strong. Where's my knight in shining armor? He forcefully lifts up your uniform, revealing your stomach to him. Ugh. You're gonna give me a good time, little darling. Boys, hold him down. Brother, wait. The tears that were hanging on finally fell down your cheeks as you tried to stop him from going any further. Two large men with him held you down as you try and struggle, but to no avail. Your vision is slowly being blinded by the hot tears that were filling up. It's no use. His grip is too strong and there's no one near to hear me. You close your eyes shut. No. You're gonna fucking fight. You gotta fight, bitch! What? Hey. What's the big deal? Judging from the impact, the man's body was jerked off of you as he was thrown to the side. You heard flesh hitting flesh. And another one. And another. That sounded like something ripping. Hugo? I wish I had like a pose where my fingers are tapping against each other on the model. That's enough, Saul. Not yet. Something's breaking. That's enough. You broke his nose already. No. Damn. Saul. That's enough. He needs your help. At the mention of your name, the familiar reddish-orange eyes went wide open before turning to you. Saul quickly went to your side, his eyes wide with shock before crouching down and giving you a hug, his shoulders shaking as he embraces you. You said nothing, however, too stunned to speak to what transpired before you. The man now lay still on the ground, a pool of blood seeping out of him. The rest of his goons passed out on a random corner. You looked up and met with all too familiar eyes of Hugo, but they weren't the kind ones you usually see on his face. Hugo's eyes twitched as he sighed, trying to hide his visible irritation, but failing. He looks around at the mess Saul made before turning to check up on you. He said nothing, hands in his pockets while he looks down at you in Saul's embrace. It's getting quite late. We should head home. He's used to bullshit like this. He is absolutely used to this. Hugo tapped Saul's shoulder, making the tall man bury his face further in between your neck before eventually letting go. We could have stayed like that for a while longer, you know? His eyes were bloodshot, his face red from either anger or worry. You aren't sure, but one thing's for sure. That the man before you cried. Oh, he cried for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have left you. So, thank you for saving me. Oh! You reach out to cup his cheek. He flinches at the touch. Tears that he was trying to hold back are now flowing freely down his cheeks. He eventually relaxed as he closed his eyes and leaned onto your hand as he held it. I don't know what I'll do if... It's okay, it's alright. Here. Besides you, Hugo extends his hand for you to take. You notice on his other hand is the same horse plush you tried to win back in the crane game. You took Hugo's hand as he helped you get up. Saul stands as well, but backs away from you a few steps. We should head back home. It's quite late after all. Both you and Sol didn't say anything but nod along. My home or his home? Hugo gives both of you a smile before walking away. Sol kept a firm hold of your hand, seemingly afraid to let you go. Hugo lets out a sigh. Guess we can't get in that arcade anymore. Those guys might come back to teach us a lesson. If they ever come back, I'll give them more than just a broken nose. You're pretty scary right now, Sol. Good. I'd like to keep it that way. Hugo shakes his head. He rummaged through his pockets before handing Sol something. He didn't quite see what it was, but judging on the skull in Sol's face, he didn't like it. I told you, these don't work anymore. It's 'cause you aren't taking them, you fool. No, take it tonight. Sol grumbled like a child who got scolded before taking whatever Hugo gave him and tucking it in his pockets. Anyway, your place is just around this corner. You should head back as soon as possible. I'll be taking Sky home. He doesn't like that. Sol's eyes narrowed. He went from holding your hand to wrapping his arm around yours in a possessive manner as he leaned closer and glared at Hugo. No, I can walk him home. Clearly, you're not in a good condition. Do you fight again? I can fight again. There was something in Hugo's eyes that made your blood run cold. The usual happy-go-lucky expression he had on his face was gone. You take a look back at Sol, noticing how unfazed he seemed, as if challenging Hugo. Hugo is right, you look beaten up. But Sky, at least he knows his limits. Sol says nothing but clenches his fists. You notice a few red marks on his knuckles. Your eyes furrow. I'm fine. Sol tries to reassure you. You shook your head, no. Well, for me, you aren't. 6, 8. Ha! Ha ha! Ha I at least have 7. You look up and give him a reassuring smile. Oh, I'll be fine, so besides I have Hugo to keep me safe. You go home first and get some rest. Alright. Oh, so wait before you go. He paused in his tracks. He raised his eyebrows in curiosity. Holding the stuffed toy in your arms, you gently handed over to him, catching him by surprise. Sol, however, shook his head no and gave the horse back to you. His hands wrapped around your hands as you held the toy horse. You won that. Plus, I don't deserve it. Not after that. But I won it for you. Consider it as your reward for saving me. Sol stares at you in disbelief, from your face to the stuffed horse in your hands. His hands were shaking as he takes the toy horse from yours, brushing your fingers, making him shiver. I'll take care of it. I swear to you. He squeezed your hands, too hesitant to let you go, before his hold eventually slipped as he lets go. With that, Sol takes his leave. He walks backwards, his eyes still on you, making sure you're in his sight before properly walking front. Hugo sighs. You turn to face him. Well, ain't he a charmer? Is it working? Oh no. Yes, you depressed a-hole, go away. You raise a brow at his question. Working what? Charming you, obviously. Don't worry, this is a secret between you and me, he says with a finger on his lips and a wink. You blushed. He's nice. I owe him my life after that, and... You chuckled, thinking about a long-haired male. He is handsome, I admit that. Uh-huh. What's with that smirk on your face? Ah, nothing. Before you could my nose. Before you could retaliate with a question, his gaze softened, taking you a bit aback as he looked down on the pavement below, kicking a pebble. Have you ever liked someone, Sky? What's with that sudden question? Just answer. You paused as you thought for a second, and the first person that appeared in your mind was... You thought of Saul, how he protected you, how he didn't hesitate to beat those guys down. The pure terror in his eyes, how worried he was, you couldn't get it out of your head. He's been an amazing friend, even if he did beat up those guys. Non-stop. Is it a red flag? Maybe. Do you care? Maybe not. Oh yeah, that's good. Too bad I'm colorblind. I have a red-green weakness. I'm not seeing it. A smile made its way to your face, and it was enough of a confirmation for Hugo. Eventually you arrived at the door of your apartment. You thanked Hugo for accompanying you. He gives you a smile, rubbing the back of his head. I'll see you tomorrow, Sky. Can someone cosplay him to my soul, please? That would be so fun. Sorry the day didn't go well. It's okay, Hugo, but we're gonna have a proper plan next time. Of course! Hugo nodded. He turned his heel, his back facing you, ready to leave. But he remained still on his spot. Sky?
Yes.
Be careful walking late at night, okay? You paused, turning your head slightly at him. There have been multiple cases of missing people lately. I suggest you go home with someone. Anyone. Just don't go alone, alright? The thing is, if I don't go alone and somebody's accompanying me, that person then has to go home alone. So we have to be at least 3 people, with 2 people living like at the same space so that everybody can get home safe. You get my point? Missing people, when did that happen? No, when did it start? And one last thing. He turned his head around as he looks at you, your confused face. His eyes soft, but the light against him seems like he's giving you a warning. Take care of Saul for me, okay? And with that, he left. You entered your apartment. The lights dim as you groaned, searching for the light switch. Much better. You nod in approval before heading to your kitchen. You opened your fridge and started rummaging around for something to eat. I forgot to do my groceries. You let out an irritated sigh, seeing there's nothing good beside the leftovers from yesterday's dinner. You shrugged, deciding to heat this one up after you set your things down. You don't really feel like cooking or ordering either. Sighing one last time, you closed the door to your fridge as you made your way to your room. You placed your school bag near your desk as you take your seat, skimming through the notes you've taken for the day as you wrote down everything you needed. You clicked your tongue as you tapped your blank notebook with the tip of your pen, going on with your silent staring contest with the blank paper. You let out a groan. Deciding to do work later, you close your notebook and stand up. You turn to your window, noticing it being slightly ajar. That's weird, I thought I closed this. You went near to close it shut, but were met with a broken lock. You curse. I thought I already replaced this 2 days... 2 days ago? 2 days ago? This lock has been broken before? Maybe I shouldn't buy my locks online. Yeah, maybe. You let out a groan as you leave it alone and go out of your room and into your living room. Your TV blared as you munch on some leftovers you got from the fridge. A movie currently playing as you keep your eyes on the protagonists. If you recall correctly, it's one of those films Jess keeps talking about, starring her favorite lead actor. Want something interesting about this room? Sure. You kinda get what she was gushing about. The lead does look attractive. Blonde wavy hair with sharp eyes. As pink as fuchsia? How do you pronounce it? And you still can't remember the actor's name. You took out your phone as you started to search up the name of the actor, when suddenly the channel changed, and instead of the blonde actor on the screen, a report comes instead with a banner below. No, the program didn't change. Shelf on the right, it's four of the shelves the TV is standing on combined together. Oh. Copy paste, nice. Another missing person case? Is this what Hugo was talking about? A shiver went up your spine, remembering the broken lock of your window back in your bedroom. Nuh-uh, not tonight. No scary thoughts for tonight. Turning off the TV, you went to your kitchen to grab something to drink. You open your fridge, feeling the cold air hitting your face as you march through it. Once again. Taking out a pitcher of orange juice, you take a glass from your cupboard as you pour the juice to the last drop, taking a sip from it. You check your clock on the wall. 9:30. That late already, huh? You checked your front door and windows, seeing everything locked, before grabbing a glass and finishing I know, I've seen it. And finishing the last drops of the orange juice before heading back to your bedroom. I have gotten a little bit spoiled. Now dressed in your nightwear, you let out one last stretch, yawn escaping from your mouth. Getting in your bedsheet, you laid in comfort. The thing is, my TikTok page is filled, it's absolutely filled with soul content, so would have gotten a little spoiled here and there anyways. I do love my man with a pink apron on. Today was a lot, you thought. Another yawn escaped your lips. You must be really tired, you thought. Your eyes going half-lit. Shut it, and eventually sleep took over. The moon was high up in the sky, the night quiet, save for a few honks from late-night cars. But all of that wasn't enough to wake the sleeping residents. Still broken, huh? You should be careful, Pumpkin. What story are we in? Like, is he climbing up high, or are we like on the ground floor? Clad in all black with a mask of the same color adorning his face, he slowly makes his way next to the sleeping figure. It's like, hi? Dude, he is Spider-Man. His reddish eyes bright, filled with adorning love. He reached out and stroked a finger against his beloved's cheek. Look at my sleepy sweetheart. Makes me wonder who supplies Hugo those sleeping pills. He lets out a low chuckle as he leans closer to me. Pulling down his mask, he leans forward, checking his face before continuing. Love a possessive man, yes. From the look we have through the window, it can be 7th or even 10th. Damn. He buries his face at the tip of his shoulders as he leaves the pack. Writing is kind of... He takes a deep inhale. He shakes as if he took a whiff of a dangerous and addictive drug. His eyes bright as he examines every feature of his soulmate's face. Can I please have an editing function? As he examines every soulmate's face, as he gives Sky's cheeks a kiss. Little. Fuck, you smell so good. Fuck, I forgot some. Pardon me. He lifts his arm and watches as it flops down. It should be he lifts your arm, so because like this it's a bit confusing. Deep in sleep, like Sleeping Beauty. He nibbles otherwise it sounds like he nibbles his own neck. He nibbles your neck, earning him a soft whimper from the sleeping person. He just chuckled. Quite ticklish, aren't you? And he kept going. He kissed and lapped on the same spot to the point a mark started to form. Imagine you wake up with a fucking hickey. Bro. I mean... Those filthy scums think they could touch you. His eyes slanted in anger. His grip on the edge of the bed tightens as he wrinkles the sheets. His breathing heavy. You're mine. No one else. You belong to me. If I ever see those bastards again, I'll kill... Oh, my mic is not picking it up. I'll kill them. Tucking a loose strand away from your face, he gives you a kiss on the forehead before landing another one on the corner of your lips. A shiver ran down your spine at the contact. His spine, apparently. And as much as he would like to stay a bit longer, his time was due. He backs away as he covered his face once again with the face mask. You walk towards the ajar window, turning back one last time. Sorry about your window, Pumpkin. I'll make it up to you someday. He carefully opened the window again, and with that, he was gone. We need a Yandere Audio Soul 2.0. Absolutely no problem. To be continued. We made it! God damn it. Beautiful! What do you look at that? We made it. Not with we made it, I mean we made the part. Oh, is that what I missed? Found this on the internet. That's beautiful. Do you want to get the ending? Sure. So where was the implied child neglect? Where's the implied somno? Drugging. Okay, it's drugging. I guess it counts as drugging. Where's the implied somnophilia? Please do send me an email. I want to send you an email with multiple different things. What's the current? Is it the NSF? What's your device? Oh my goodness. In-game day bug grammar error encountered in bullet form. I have no idea what they mean by that. Upload a picture. Shit, I can't do that. You have to kiss Crow. Oh, you mean the one where Crow gets killed? Yeah, I know that one. I think that was the Somno. Yeah. Please send a screenshot. I cannot do that, unfortunately. Maybe I can contact them or something. Grammar errors and or bugs. The thing is, of course, I would have to play it again. I did not, God damn it. History? I did not save where the grammar errors were and stuff. And I know this is only one person doing this. Contact. Contact? I can click it, but nothing happens. Back to start. Oh, never mind. Contact. Back to start. She, her. Yes. Contact. I'm gonna think of what to write to them because I want to contact them. But the thing is, I will most likely not get anywhere with this. Anyways, TikTok is not the worst. I'm very happy I got like spoiled for a little bit. Can I please get heart lenses like this? I want to cosplay it. Glossary. Patreons. Patreon. Let me check out Patreon. Does anyone have a funny name here? I'm gonna feature all these lovely Patreons here. Death Sally is nice. This person, the chrysanthemum, I think they were at, you know, at my boys too, at a Date with Deaths too. Unsleepingly owl. Owl. Worst narcissist. Mystic Scaramouche. Okay, hello, Mystic Scaramouche. If I could make a game like this, I would. I absolutely would. If I could help with a game like this, I absolutely would too. Like, absolutely. I love this. Did you see all the scenes where Crow dies? I just saw the picture. Just saw the picture. So, I'm going to switch over to the intermission real quick. I'm gonna go to just chatting. I'm just gonna chill for a little more, yeah? Just gonna chill for a little more while I'm gonna try to raise an email, I guess. Let me put you on some music. Just Minecraft music should be okay. Oh, by the way, goodbye to YouTube. I don't know if you can send me all the memes now. It doesn't matter if I get spoiled for the rest. So, first let me check Blue Sky. I do know that the creator is on a hiatus. Where my social media thing is on YouTube.